Kevin Spacey. Now, when I got this clip, and when people sent this clip to me, I said, no way, no how. But it's believable. It's believable. Because Kevin Spacey is too talented. Kevin Spacey, in my opinion, is one of the most talented actors that I've ever seen in my entire life. Kevin Spacey was House of Cards, in my personal opinion. Now, you can say a little bit sassy with his dating preferences, with who it is that he wanted to bust down and all of that. Maybe they, he like men. That's him. That's him. I'm not a fan of it, but that's not something that he paraded or he advertised or he said that he wanted to do inside of the public. When he would get on camera, and when I was watching him on House of Cards, I said, Kevin Spacey is incredible. When I was watching him on, was it Margin Call? Kevin Spacey is incredible. When I was watching him on American Beauty, Kevin Spacey is one of the most talented people that I've ever seen in my entire life. But this is a cautionary tale for everybody and anybody that thinks that that society and legal fees and whoever it is that's going against you cannot take you down. They sent me this clip that he was crying on Piers Morgan, and I said, I got to include this in the Millionaire Morning Show. Let me see if I could forward it over into the part where he was out here on these streets. Let me see something.
And I'm blessed to have people around me who believe in me. And I'm blessed to have been able to learn what I've been able to learn. Can you imagine if I didn't learn anything? If it was 7 years, then I learned nothing? I wouldn't want to be alive if that were true. But I very, very, very much am so grateful that I am alive and I got through this. And I'm coming out the other side of it. Where do you live now?
Have y'all ever seen a grown man cry when you ask him where he lives or what his financial situation is? It is one of the saddest things that I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not talking about a death in the family, because the death of your bank account is just as impactful and as great of a life event as the death of a family member, in my opinion, personally. The death of a bank account is just as impactful, maybe even more, as the death of a family member, in my personal opinion. 100%. 100%. Absolutely. To know that you can't pay your bills or it's a possibility that you're about to file for bankruptcy is insane. Listen, you have not seen broken until you see a grown man cry based off of his circumstances. Man, I ain't talking about crying over no woman. I ain't talking about crying over something happened, she left me, or my friend turned against me. I'm talking about when a man loses his ability to be able to pay his bills. That's a whole nother cry. That's an ugly cry. That's that cry that your girl got to come in and just rub your back. Don't say nothing to me. Don't try to encourage me. Just rub my back. That's that cry when you get done, you walk out the front door. That's an ugly cry. Like, to see a man break down based off of his ability to be able to provide for himself is probably one of the most humiliating experiences that a man can experience in his entire life. To know that you got people depending on you and you can't even pay. Yo, if you got to see listen, Linda. If your girl is a stay-at-home mom, but now she got to go and get a job in order to support the family because you've lost your ability to be able to provide for your family, listen, I've seen many of the greatest men, toughest guys, working hard. I've seen many of men broken, and break down because to see they chick walk out the house in order to try to provide for the family. Not help contribute, but we gonna depend on what you got going on until I can get back on my feet. That is one of the most humbling experiences that a real man could ever do in their entire life. That's why I be so confused as to how people could just like be playing video games and stuff like that. That's anyways, let me play this clip for y'all.
Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in 2012.
So this has been your home for 12 years?
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today.
How much money do you have?
None.
Really?
Well, I mean, you have some sense of legal bills.
Yeah.
I still owe a lot of legal bills that
You're
I have not been able to pay.
You're actually in debt.
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
It's considerable.
Millions?
Many millions, yes.
Somebody said in the chat, let me tell you how you know you ain't made enough money yet. All right. Somebody said, I completely disagree, says Nightbreaker. Money is the result of working. And as long as you got work ethic, you can bounce back. Man, some of y'all ain't never even made $1 million in your life, collectively in your life. Some of y'all been making 40 to 40, and ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with working and making 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 60. You just want to do better. You want to continue to rock out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Some of y'all been working for 20 years and you've never collectively in your earning history have made collectively $1 million. For somebody to sit here and tell somebody that is millions of dollars in debt and legal fees alone that I completely disagree, money is the result of working, and as long as you got work ethic, you can bounce back. Boy, if you don't get your... Listen, it's levels to this conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this. Yeah, that's cool if you just lost your car and you got repossessed. Yeah, you can get your credit back in this amount of years and you know what I'm saying? You can pay off your debt. They're going to probably garnish you here and there. That's different. Bro. That's why I tell people on a regular basis, bro. I tell people on a regular basis. I said, look, man. When you become successful, you have to have the character to go along with and the business acumen to go along with your talent. Because the character alone will not allow for you to continue to be successful, and it's not going to keep you in a situation that requires for you to have great character. Why? Because it's going to cost you everything. And the mistakes that you make is not, see, y'all make mistakes every single day. We all make mistakes every single day. But the mistakes that you make cost you $1,000. You may have to go and pay a ticket, whatever, get your license suspended, go on the phone. You might even lose a job. That costs you tens of thousands of dollars. If I make a mistake, it costs me millions of dollars. And that's the difference. That's why it's levels, is because if you're not developing the character that goes along with whatever it is that you're talented at, and you slip up, listen, you slip up with the IRS, it's going to cost you a couple penalties here and there. I slip up and I'm not on my accountant. The interest alone is insane. The interest alone is absolutely insane. And so y'all got to stop comparing work ethic and thinking that that alone is enough. It's not, especially when you get to certain levels.
The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse.
I wish you all the best in getting back on that horse.
Thank you.
It must have been a nightmare to live through. And I don't say that because I think you've been completely blameless. We've discussed by your own admission the flaws that led to your behaviour and so on. But I do believe in fairness, and I just think that you've not been convicted of any crimes, either in a criminal court or a civilian court. And at some point, society has to recognise that.
Doesn't matter. Society holds men accountable no matter whether or not they've been convicted in a court of law or not. Because they're going to hold you accountable from your bank account. They're going to hold you accountable from the court of public opinion. They're going to hold you accountable in perception, your ability to be able to secure work, all of that. They are going to hold you accountable. So it doesn't matter, but the fact that he's never, ever been convicted of anything, just the fact that he had to fight the accusations alone cost him everything. Everything that he ever worked for cost him everything. Neither here nor there. That's just my personal opinion anyways. Shout out to who I would consider one of the best actors out here, Kevin Spacey. Thank you for the great content and the tears of joy